Hello everybody, Calamity here, or at least that's what they call me at the IPC. Today's video is going to be all about the Aetherium Wars event that was just released in Honkai Star Rail. I'm going to show you the team that I used personally to beat the entire event. I was pretty much struggling until I came up with this team. I don't know if it's actually the best team, I just did that so you would click my video. But anyways, let's get started on the actual team setup. As you can see, I am using most of these units you get pretty early on in the game. I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to like Pokemon-like modes, I always like to try to keep my starter in the party as much as possible if I can. And Bubbles, or whatever you chose to name your Warp Trotter, is a great unit overall. But let's quickly go over the chips that each one has and how the team kind of works. So if we go into the details here, our main DPS for this team is going to be both the Silvermane Lieutenant as well as the Silvermane Cannoneer. But I believe they're called the Overworld, or the Elite Unit is what I'm just going to call them from now on, is your main damage dealer as well as a good sustainer. So he provides a lot of shields for your team. His skill is basically one big chunky shield, and his ultimate is a much smaller shield, but it's for everybody for 2 turns. And whenever an opponent damages any of your allies that has his shield, he will counterattack, and that counterattack does a lot of damage. Now for his chips, the 3 chips that I have equipped on him are the Matrix Iteration. This makes it so that when he uses his ultimate, he'll restore 35% of his HP. This is good sustain in case the 2 healers on the team just don't get to him. I was really struggling with this when it came to the much harder fights later on. 2 is Backstage Enhancement. This is going to make it so when it's not his turn, he's going to gain a 50% attack boost. This is great because, again, he does most of his damage as counterattacks, and it's not his turn, right? When he's doing the counterattack, it's usually your opponent's turn. So he'll easily get the benefits of this chip. The next one is Efficiency Optimization. This reduces his ult cost by 1, so it only costs 2. And you cannot reduce your energy below 2 points, which is great. This makes it so he can constantly cast his ultimate much more frequently, which is really, really good. The game also recommends the negative load algorithm, or the shield system chips as well. I found the negative load algorithm to be very situational. Not every monster is going to debuff specifically this guy, and then the shield system, I kind of have it on other characters because I usually shield other characters so that he can counterattack more frequently. But you can mix and match the chips if you want. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using, but I'm just sharing what worked for me. Next up, I also use the Entranced Ingenium Obedient Dracolian. I don't know what to call this thing for short. We're just going to call it the Dracolian from now on, because that's a really long name. This is a healer type spirit. It's very basic. He just has a regular attack. This attack actually hits really hard though. For his skill, this is probably one of the best heals out of all of the spirits. I believe it's like Luocha's type healing here. He'll sacrifice a bunch of his HP to heal one of your units other than the Dracolian himself. Next up is his talent, which I'm going to get into. This is what really makes this unit super annoying and very tanky for your opponents to deal with. He will block an instance of fatal damage, so it doesn't matter if he has like 100 HP or 1000 HP. If he takes a hit that would kill him, he won't die. He'll stay at 1 HP, and then he'll counterattack doing a really hard-hitting attack, and he'll heal himself for a huge chunk of his HP back, and it will dispel all of the, like, it's so many good effects all in one. And yeah, this is really, really good. And basically his ultimate is called Self-Reconstruction, and he'll allow himself to do emergency mode again. So this thing, in essence, technically never dies, or it takes a lot for your opponents to actually kill the Dracolian. And it does have an energy cost of 4, so it can be pretty hard to get this ultimate, but he's also a good skill point generator for your team because, you know, if you don't need a heal, then you can just attack, and then yeah. For his chips, I'm using just tanky chips here. I have emergency reboot on him, so in case in the, you know, like in those situations where he actually does get killed, he will actually revive with some HP back, and they'll get an additional turn, so they can either heal somebody or they can just straight up do another attack, and it's really, really good. Firewall is going to increase his HP by 40% and increases the chance of him getting attacked. Next up is Bubbles, or whatever you named the Warp Trotter in this event. I named him Bubbles, and very, very good unit. Can use up to 4 extension chips, which is insane. I'm sure you know how this Warp Trotter works. And his ultimate basically turns his attack into a skill, as well as he'll buff the entire team for 20% attack damage, which is really good. And if he gets attacked, he's going to increase your other allies' damage by 30% as well. So big buffer, big heals, really, really good unit overall. So for his chips, I am using the safe mode. We reduce his attack by 75%, but we increase his HP by 60. Again, he's a healer. He's not here for DPS, so this is fine. Shield system gives him a higher chance of being attacked, which we want. And also gives him a shield. The third chip I recommend using is Deep Clean. At the end of the turn, he'll remove any debuffs on him, as well as remove debuffs on your allies, which is really, really good. As for the fourth chip, I have Threshold Disruption, but you don't need to have that. Honestly, you can use anything else if you want. I don't recommend Parallel Enhancement just because your Warp Trotter is going to take extra damage. You could use something like, I guess Saturated Activation's okay. He'll get his ult early. Honestly, anything else is fine that you want to use. You don't have to use Threshold. I just have that there. And then the last unit is the Silvermane Cannoneer, and if you are unfamiliar with his skill, he will support one unit on your team, and anytime that unit attacks, he will do a follow-up attack as well. So the combo synergy here is to use his skill on the Lieutenant, because this Lieutenant, once he gets his shields up on the team and he starts countering lots and lots and lots, this dude will also do additional damage as well. It's really, really nice, and he makes for a good sub DPS as well as a good buffer. So I just explained the skill, right? He'll do a follow-up attack with whoever he's supporting, and then his ultimate is basically just a big buff. He's going to increase your allies' attack by 50% for 2 turns, as well as give them energy. So this is going to make it so that he can keep casting his ultimate, and it's really, really good. And then his talent basically gets an increase of 30% damage when it's not his turn, and he gets a nice little advanced forward by 60% at the beginning of the fight. For his chips, I am using just some generic ones. General Upgrade gives him more attack, more HP. I did find him to be really squishy and dying a lot early on, so I definitely wanted to give him something like that. Cleansing, it is also really good. It dispels 1 buff on the target he's attacking, so whoever your Lieutenant attacks, he'll dispel a buff on them as well, which is really, really nice. You can also use High Load, Low Speed if you want. I just don't like decreasing my unit speed because you want to keep that support buff active at all times. Up to you if you want to use it. It is obviously going to do more damage, but you know, use whatever you want. You can also use Morale Activation, which is also going to increase his own damage as well as his own damage resistance and speed as well. This one's actually really good. I don't know why I'm not using it. But feel free to use, again, the chips are not set in stone. Feel free to use whatever you want, whatever sounds better to you. So that's essentially my team setup. Again, I was able to beat the champion and all the hyperlink battles, as well as, you know, all the subsequent fights before that with just this team alone. So with that being said, let's actually show you this team in action so you can see how the rotation works and just to see how it performs in battle. All right, here we are in the fight. Pretty easy to do the rotation for this team. We're going to use our skill on the Lieutenant. So now every time he counters, we're going to do a follow-up attack. For the Warp Trotter, no one needs to be healed right now, so we're just going to do our AoE attack. Just generate some skill points. And then they're going to have their turns. All right, cool. So for the Lieutenant's turn, go ahead and use your skill on whoever you want. You could also use it on himself if you want, or the Cannoneer. It doesn't really matter. You're all going to get attacked at some point, right? Especially when they have AoE like that. So there you go. There's the follow-up, the counter, and then the follow-up to said counter. Let's go ahead and just reapply the buff. And then we're going to activate our ultimate on the lieutenant, so he gets an attack boost. And then we're going to use his ultimate so that everyone can get a shield. We do this so that we can get more counter attacks, right? And then for this turn, no one needs to be really healed. No one's really in any danger, so let's just go ahead and attack. Get some skill points. Get some more skill points. Use your ultimate. Now we get attacked. Get a counter. Honestly, you could just leave. On most of the battles, I just left it on auto. It's not the fastest team, but you know, we were able to get the job done eventually. So let's go ahead and shield. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? We'll just shield ourselves and then do this again just so everyone gets a shield. Reapply the support. So now that our Warp Trotter is in alt form with the Hog Dash, we can just do an attack and it will heal everybody. We should just keep attacking here. There we go, nice follow-up. We do want to get rid of their healer as well, right? Because he can be annoying to deal with. Let's go ahead and give everyone a shield again. There we go. I'm gonna give a shield to this dude, just in case. Getting a little low, but should be should be fine. Ouch. Let's go ahead and give everyone a shield. Again, you just want to keep spamming that for the counters, like that. Ouchie. Maybe not the best showcase because my Warp Trotter died, but let's keep going. Alright, let's put another shield on our lowest ally. Oh boy. There's the resisting fatal damage right there, and then you got the heal, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and support. Do this again. Got rid of his healer, which is really good. Put another shield. Nice follow-up damage there, and then we're gonna give shields again. There goes that dude, and now it's just the big robot left, so I don't have any more skill points. It is unfortunate that our Warp Trotter did die, but it is how it be. Let's go ahead and give a shield. And then reapply the buff. Do attack. Ooh. I guess that was a little too close, huh? But we were able to get it. Probably could have played that a little bit better, but that's essentially my team. I definitely, you know, probably not the best team that's going to come out. I'm sure once more people actually finish the event and try more combinations out, there's going to be more strong stuff. But that's just what I used. Maybe it'll help somebody that's struggling with the event. Alright, so that's basically a wrap on this team. If you have any questions about, you know, how it works, if there's other chips you could use, stuff like that, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and or subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. I will be making more in the future. Maybe not for the Aetherium Wars events, since there's much more to it. But one more thing I will leave you with before I go is there is actually some really cool synergy with the Aru Matan Gatekeeper and the Cannoneer. If you use these two together, there's really good synergy here. So when you use the Cannoneer's skill, right, to do the follow-up attacks, and then you use the Gatekeeper's ultimate, the ultimate for the Gatekeeper is that he summons those two little fish, the fire-breathing fish things, right? When those things attack, the Cannoneer will actually follow up as well, because those units that the Gatekeeper summons count as the Gatekeeper attacking. So you can get a whopping 3 follow-up attacks from the Cannoneer, as well as the fish and the Gatekeeper doing their own damage as well. So you do tons and tons of damage. This is actually a really cool synergy, and then the other 2 slots in the team can be flex stuff like healers and other support characters as well. So that was another cool synergy I found while playing the event. If you found any cool teams that work really well together as well, let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, that's going to be a wrap for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.